Buongiorno YouTube, Trev here, Summit or Nothing. Wild camping on Dartmoor. I'm going to camp out in me DD Hammocks Superlight tarp. Cut a long story short, I've just moved within minutes of the moor and we've been moving house all week. We're pretty much at a place where it's like everything's in. It's Easter Sunday, we're chilling and I'm thinking it's too good weather not to get up and do a camp. So that's what's happened. Here I am. So I'm back today in the Sourton area. It's where me and Nath done our very first walk. I was thinking perhaps either camp up at Sourton Tor, but then I thought I might try and navigate onto Corn Ridge and see if I can't find Branscombe Loaf, which is a little tor that we've missed. So I might go and have a look at that, perhaps camp there. It's about 6 in the evening. We've got a couple of hours left of sunlight. We'll see what I can explore in that time. But predominantly it's about the camp tonight. Do I follow the path and go around or go up and over? Well, I want to do some more mountains at some point. So you always take the up, hit the top of Sourton Tors, and then from there we take a bearing to Branscombe Loaf. What you've got to remember with Sourton Tors is there's like a double summit. We get halfway up, there's a plateau, and then you have to carry on up again to get up to the trig point and the top. Doesn't look much, but that's all been uphill on the way here. See, levels out. You feel like that's the up, that's it, but it's not. It's trig point. It's up there. What's the best route up? I'm thinking it looks like a gradual climb going up and around. We do that. Here we come. Up to the top of Sourton. That's where I've got to go in a minute. More hills. We go up here, we'll have a look around. Okay, so looking in the distance here, over there, highest point on Dartmoor, highest point in the southwest, High Willows. Over here, Yes Tor. In the background there is West Mill Tor, and I assume that's Bellstone behind it. Down from High Willows and Yes Tor, that's Black Tor, halfway up. Looking this way, over there, that's Great Links Tor. It's a beauty of a tor, isn't it? And then down from there is Little Links. Then you can see Brat Tor right over yonder. And then down here, following the hill, this is Corn Ridge behind me. Follow this hill down, and that's Shellstone Tor there, looking right over the valley. So great views from up here. Sourton Tors is 440 metres. I started off at the car park, it was 246 metres, so I've climbed 200 metres. To get up to Corn Ridge and Branscombe Loaf is 537 metres, so we better make our way up there, another climb. Basically took a bearing and Branscombe Loaf right up the top of that path by the looks of it. So if I just stick to that trodden track, I should find it okay. I've got my trespass backpack on again, 30 litre. It's actually doing all right. I've literally packed it full to the brim, but summer's here, so cutting the weight down. This is a record weight in here today, 9.4 kilograms. It's the lightest I've ever had it. It is only for one night, so just got the essentials. I bought water, I couldn't be bothered to go source water, so it'll be lighter again in the morning. Gained some height now above Sourton, left that behind. We're coming up to the ridge of Corn Ridge, so we should be able to see this loaf in a minute. I think I see it now. No, I don't think it's this one. I think it's the next one over here. Does that look more like a loaf to you? It's got to be it, isn't it? It looks a bit like a granary loaf, isn't it? It's meant to be a loaf and some cheese. Yeah, there's the cheese. That's supposed to be cheese. These little stones down here. What's this here, look? A little stamp thing. Something. Anyway, Branscombe Loaf. I've made it. Never been here before. I might get up the top. Oh, what an evening. What an evening. Beautiful. So, this is the calm after the most hectic week I've ever had, I think. We moved about 40 miles away, so it's the furthest we've ever moved. It's usually just down the road. Luckily, we had the week to do it. Well, it took us a whole week, Saturday to Saturday. It just made sense to come up here. Then there was the dilemma of what tent do I take? I was going to take the new nature hike. Then I thought, no, I'd take the lantern. And then I thought, no, do you know what? I really fancy getting the tarp back out again. It's nice and light. I could probably fit it in that pack. So that's what I did. I bought myself this new map, and it's an active map. They're a little bit more expensive. I'm hoping they're a little bit more hard wearing. I know they're waterproof, and they're sort of like almost a plasticky cover, but you can still write on them with pencil if you need to mark yourself. So yeah, my map, just give up the ghost. Done and dusted. I've got a little while till sunset. Could go down to Shelston, so I'll take a bearing now, and then we'll get on down there. It's interesting now to see if I know how to read a map. After all those years of watching Nath do it, letting him navigate, have I learnt anything? So what I do, I find Corn Ridge, that's where I am, Branscombe Loaf. I line up the edge of the compass over to Sourton Tor. So I'm on Branscombe's Loaf, Sourton Tor, then I orientate the map so that the red lines of the bezel of the compass are in line with the blue lines of the map underneath. And then the way the arrow is pointing is where I want to walk. About 32 degrees. So then I hold the compass looking down the arrow, keeping the red arrow and the north lined up, and then I can follow it to Sourton Tor. Let's have a go at that. So what have we had? 3 days of sun, and the ground is really, really dry. You can understand exactly why they don't want any fires on Dartmoor. This would just go. It's quite frightening when you think about it. If you was up here and there was a more fire, you'd proper shit yourself, wouldn't you? There it is now. Sourton Tor coming to view. I think I'll be safe without the compass from here. Oh, it's getting down fair. I don't know if I am going to see the reservoir from down there, to be honest. Because we're going to have Homerton Hill between us and that. I don't know whether to just stay up here. It's nice up here, isn't it? It's secluded. It's fairly good terrain. A wing and a prayer. Winging it. Praying. I think the views are better up here. You can see Black Tor, high willows and that. I don't think you'll see it all from down there. So, yeah, I've made a decision. I'm going to stay up the top. For it. Okay, so I'm up here now, back at Branscombe's Loaf. It's not too bad around here. So I'm going to set up the camp. I'm going to get myself a coffee. And also I've got a brand new Gore-Tex bivvy bag. Now my old bivvy bag, which I only used once or twice, was waterproof, but it wasn't breathable, and I used to wake up clammy in that. I bought both my Thermarest Ridge Vest and also another Nature Hike inflatable mat. Anyway, I digress. Let's get set up. Here we are, in the tarp. I'll sleep somewhere like this. Let's go and find somewhere to have a nice cup of coffee now and watch the sunset. You coming? Coffee's on, sun's setting, reflecting in the ocean over there. I can see the sea. It's quite amazing. That must be Bude sort of way, because the sun sort of sits behind, dips behind Bude and Widmer. Tis boiled you. It's been a long time coming, this. Camping. Summer as well. It feels like the summer, it's still spring. Doesn't feel so much like the summer now, that sun's gone down. I've left my coat over at the Loaf. Hopefully we ain't going to have a replay of last time, where it was nice and calm when I was having my coffee and 60-mile-an-hour winds hit me in the night. I don't think. It's literally like 4-mile-an-hour winds through the night. A breeze, a gentle breeze. We can live with that. It's nice to be just away from everything. I did spend one night in our new home before I escaped the moors. This, compact, a lot smaller than my winter sleeping bag. Mountain Warehouse Microlight 500 and my bivvy bag all in the same bag. I don't know what the sort of tog rating or whatever you call it would be with those two, whether it would equate the same as my winter sleeping bag, but that's a lot better size. So if that was the case, then this might be the way forward in winter. Double up. So it's my new bivvy bag. My sleeping bag's already in it. Let's get it in my tent. In we get. There's my new sleeping mat. It's a bit wider than my last one. So make sure my sleeping bag hood right where it wants to be. In the hood of my bivvy bag. We're approaching 9 o'clock now, so time to have some tea. Supper. Even though I haven't had tea, so it is my tea, alright? But supper, if you want to call it that. Bloody old jet boils. All or nothing. I tried turning it down and it cuts straight out. Dripping water everywhere. Look at it, streaming. I turn it down. Tonight I've got an all-day breakfast. And that's the last of my boiling the bags. I must admit I am looking forward to getting into the trangia cooking. Just haven't had time to think about what I'm buying the gear at the minute. I've took a bit of a hiatus from the camping and the hiking. I've been doing the coast walks. By the way, if you haven't already, I'd appreciate a sponsor. I'm doing the Mighty Hike, Macmillan's Mighty Hike. Actually, I've reached my target, but my brother who's going with me hasn't reached his, so I'm going to put a link below to his Just Giving page. My brother Rob, please donate to him so he can do it. You have to have 250 minimum to do it, so if you lot can help him get to the minimum, that would be great. Right, ready to come out. Wayfarer, all day breakfast. Smells beansy. So that was my tea. The Wayfarer was alright, a bit mulchy. There's like 3 bits of sausage in it. There was like slabs, but I didn't find much else meaty in there. Well, it could have been a bit tighter, the top. It's a bit flappy. Could have done with a few more pegs in here. The sides are flapping, could have pulled them a bit tighter. I think the last time I camped in the tarp, it was Sourton Tor. Not supposed to camp there. Should always check the Dartmoor camping map. But yeah, we actually got riddled with insects that night. It was horrendous. Well, you might be wondering where the name Branscombe Loaf came from. And to tell you that would be to tell you another Dartmoor legend. Tear knife.
its origins come from the 13th century, and the Bishop of Exeter, whose name was Branscombe, Walter Branscombe, had been visiting some of the parishes on the edges of Dartmoor, and him and his servant were walking across Corn Ridge, and it'd been a long day and they were both getting hungry. And then just as they was sort of on top of the ridge, a man appeared out of nowhere and offered the bishop some bread and some cheese. And the bishop said, "Oh, thank you very much," and he was just about to take it when his servant looked down and noticed a cloven hoof sticking out beneath the stranger's cloak. And just as the bishop was about to take the loaf and the cheese, the servant smacked it out of his hand and it landed here, thus turning into Branscombe Loaf and the two cheeses beside it that you see now. Funny little story, isn't it? Nice, short but sweet. Anyway, time for a hot chocolate, I'd say, before I retire for the night.
Where's that kit like that? midnight, and it's not strong winds, but it's just constantly flapping, and it's like against me all the time. It's just nodding off, and then like there's a real like rattle right in my head or presses against me. So I think I'm going to swap sides soon, and hopefully it won't be blowing against me so much. But this, doing my head in, I keep ending up off the mat, and the mat up in pole. Anyway, try and sleep again. Alright. What just happened then is this little pole at the back here just landed on my head, went over. So I've tightened it up now. But what's happened now is that it's lifted up. What am I looking here? I don't even know where I am. There. There's quite a gap underneath now. The wind is whipping in under and through the tarp. I'm not enjoying myself tonight. Oh, I thought this was a great idea, bring the tarp. That front one's off the mark, look. The seam. Oh. Every time I get comfy in bed, I'm up readjusting it again. I'm beginning to understand why Nate doesn't enjoy camping. Right, outside. I'm here now trying to sort my tent out. See if I can do anything to it. Pull it, the entrance wider perhaps. I don't know. Watch it all collapse here. This is what my camp looks like at the minute. I've ended up sleeping diagonally as well. I say sleeping in the loosest sense of the word. Alright. It's gone again. That pole just won't stay in place. And it's like half of this tent is gone. It's worse than when we was out the other week. It's not even windy. What the is going on? It's pissing me off. Alright, I've been out in my sleeping bag and bivvy bag, hopping around like doing a sack race. I've repegged it 1:30 in the morning. Just seen a stag beetle hacking a worm, which was nice. Anyway, please let me sleep. Morning. Oh, beautiful sky. After all that shit last night, I did manage to sort the tent, the tarp, into something better than it was. I actually managed to get some sleep. Just sort of forced myself awake to catch a load of this views. Well, yeah, next time I think I'll pick up this tarp a bit differently. I'll bring some extra pegs. Try and get it drum tight because this was a freaking nightmare last night. Now it's time to pack up. Well, there you go then. Thanks for joining me. That was another Summit or Nothing solo wild camp up on Dartmoor, Branscombe Loaf, and the two cheeses, the devil's cheese. So, not a windy night, but it was a windy night. Surprisingly frustrating for such good conditions, but we fell asleep in the end, so that's all right. And I think it was one of the best sleeps I've had, to be honest. Usually I'm quite aware where I am, but anyway, yeah. Thanks ever so much for joining me. If you've enjoyed this video, there's plenty more on our channel, so make sure you've subscribed. There's more videos to come, so ring that bell and you'll be notified of when they arrive. If you've got anything to add, leave a comment below. Yeah, I look forward to showing you more videos in the future. Arrivederci. Peace.